الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين اللهم لا ننتقم من الذين يقتلون الأبرياء والأطفال والنساء والشيوخ والمشايخ والمجاهدين والمقاتلين والمدنيين في لبنان اللهم شتت شملهم ومزق جمعهم وخرب بيوتهم ودمر ديارهم وأنزل بهم بأسك الذي لا ترده عن القوم المجرمين اللهم لا ترفع لهم راية ولا تحقق لهم غاية واجعلهم عبرة وآية للعالمين يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر جندك في لبنان اللهم انصر جندك في لبنان اللهم انصر جندك في لبنان الله وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم اللهم سدد رايهم وسدد خطاهم وسدد خطاهم اللهم وسدد رميهم اللهم ألف بين قلوبهم وأصلح ذات بينهم اللهم فرج عن عبادك في لبنان وما جاورها اللهم فرج عنا وعن عبادك في لبنان وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها اللهم نفس كربنا وكربهم وثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم تقبل شهدانا اللهم اغفر موتانا وارحم جرحانا وفك أسرانا وأصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين اللهم نتوسل إليك بشهداء غزة وبشهداء لبنان أن تقبل دعانا وتحقق رجانا صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. Okay, space. Let's start from here. The nature of space, along with the nature of time, is a fundamental question in philosophy. Space is viewed as a continuant that gives form to the possible relations in which things and events stand in the world. So it's a form of a relationship between, according to this. We'll come back to that. So space is viewed as a continuant that gives form to the possible relations in which things, events stand in the world. It is constituted by all spatially related places. Well, it seems a bit circular because you're defining a space. You're using space, but I might be misunderstanding here. But let's see. So space, according to this, the form of possible relation, not the actual. Space. Relations. So relations between things, events, so relations between them. It's a form of a possible relation. So obviously you can relate. So that's a space. And then it goes on to say that it is So that's the space. Then it goes on to say that it is constituted by all especially related places, but doesn't define place. The difference between space and place obviously depends on the discipline, but one way of defining it is that space is the distinction, that space is more abstract. Um, it's more like a form, obviously, and place is what provides it with substance. That's one way. So we can say space is something abstract. That's what we mean by form in a way. Form doesn't have to be abstract, but if we are looking at already arranged things, then without any substantial meaning, and place it provides its substantial. Another way of defining, I think this is from geography, but we can sort of draw on it without accepting it as such. So we can say the space is the form, but place is what gives space its meaning and personality. That's another way of saying it. So, for example, let me just try out a few things based on this. So, space is a form of the potential or possible, the same thing, possible relationship between things, events in the world, and we said place is that this space is constituted by all especially related places. So place would be like if, for example, there's a living room, for example, it's bounded by walls. There's a sofa here, table here, there's some table here, and there's a little sofa here, there's a window here, there's a window here. So these are things, okay, in it, and so all constitute a place, and that place so place so this is a place, the whole thing is a place, and all especially related places constitute a space, but in a sense that would be place. Space is something, a possible relation, so you can actually rearrange this. So the space is sort of a possibility of how things are related, and their actuality constitutes place, as well as the actual space, rather than it has an abstract possibility. That's one way of looking at it, which this entry started, but this is just a start. So let's read one more time and then we'll move on. The nature of space, along with the nature of time, is a fundamental question in philosophy. Space is viewed as a constituent or continuant that gives form to the possible relations in which things and events stand in the world. It is constituted by all spatially related places. In ancient philosophy, in ancient Greece, Eleatics deny the possibility of empty space. So space can't be a container. So they didn't believe in absolute space, or rather they didn't believe in space as a container. So that's I'm just musing here and surmising, and Eleatic philosophers were the school of philosophy in ancient Greece. So Eleatic philosophers, or Eleatics as they're called or referred to, were pre-Socratic philosophers, a group of pre-Socratic philosophers. And they seem to have existed around 5th century BC, around Greek colony of Elia in ancient Greece, located around southern 80 miles or so from southern Italy. And one of the most famous, two most famous philosophers in this school. The founder is Parmenides. He is basically, we can say that Plato was, in a sense, a follower of Parmenides. He was hugely influenced by Parmenides, although he also took, from the Parmenidean point of view, he also took Heraclitus's argument against Parmenidean position or seriously and tried to reconcile them. But from the